Welcome to Ottumwa Youtube Radio. This is our first episode, good old 92.5.7, the Iowa Experience. And since it is our first episode, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to me and my buddies that are here with me that will be talking to you each week. My name's Jim.
Howdy, I'm Hank.
This here's Joe.
And every week we're going to come and talk to you, and we're going to share some of our experiences with our good friend Donny. Now see, Donny, he's a character.
Oh, Donny.
He does some weird things. He does some stupid things.
Oh, I tell you what.
He does all kinds of things. I don't think he's really done anything useful too much lately, but I mean, he does some things, you know. And our first thing that we're going to talk about for this week is Donny in the hazmat truck. You see, earlier today, there was a semi-truck tipped over down at the bridge. We had to get the hazmat truck down there to clean up the oil spill that came out of it. We get the call, and I tell Joe over here, I was like, we have to go take care of it. And that Donny needs to get the truck ready. Joe tells me that Donny isn't here. So I asked where he was. And Joe says he's at home working on his truck.
I don't know why he's working that truck. Spends more time in the garage than does on the road.
Yeah, but so does Donny. I swear he lives in that there garage.
He does live in that there garage. I'm telling you what, man. It seems like all the stories we have about Donny are when he's not in the garage. But you know, so I tell Joe, I'm like, hey, you need to give him a call. So Joe calls him up, and he tells Donny, he's like, hey, we need to go. We got a call. We got to take the hazmat truck down to that there spill. So, you know, Donny tells him, he's like, well, I can't get there because my truck's on cinder blocks.
Just like his house is on cinder blocks too.
Does he own anything that's not on cinder blocks?
I don't think so. He doesn't own much.
No, Donny doesn't own much, that's for sure. That's for sure. He does not own a lot. I think everything that he does own is on cinder blocks. I mean, at least his car and his house. I mean, and if everything that's in his house, it's on cinder blocks too, because the house is on cinder blocks, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I think that's how it works. But anyway, so, you know, we tell Donny, hey, well, you know what? We'll go ahead and come pick you up. So we go down there, and I'm standing outside his garage beeping the horn on the hazmat truck, and he ain't coming out. I'm like, oh, great. Now I got to go in after him. So I go in there, and I'm like, Donny, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to put a muffler on my truck. I'm like, well, we got to go. There's an oil spill down there. We got to get the hazmat truck down there and clean it up. And I'm like, so Donny, I finally get him drug out of that garage of his. We get in the truck, and Donny's back in the back seat looking around. And I'm like, Donny, what are you looking for? He's like, well, I was trying to see if you guys grabbed my suit. And I was like, oh, we didn't grab his suit. It's back at the garage. I was like, but we don't have time to go get it right now.
So I says, just wrap up that there garage bag around your legs. You'll be fine.
He did say that. I heard him.
I know, and the funniest part about it is that Donny didn't know what garage bags were. And I wasn't really sure either. And I'm pretty sure that Hank meant garbage bags, but you know, we get our words mixed up every now and then.
Damn Donny.
You know, so anyway, Donny actually listens to him and starts putting the garbage bags on his legs. He's taping them up. I'm like, hey, you know, whatever floats your boat, as they say. But hey, it worked until we fell down in the oil spill when we got down there to that truck.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But we get down there, and after we're all parked and Donny goes over there to see the oil spill, and after he slips and falls in it, gets his shirt all covered with oil, I'm like, all right, we're going to have to get Billy down here with his bobcat so we can get this thing covered up with some dirt and start absorbing this oil. And, you know, I was worried there was going to be a lot of oil down there, and there was quite a bit on the ground. There had to be at least 5 quarts.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, there had to be at least 5 quarts. 5 quarts is a lot of oil. That's how much my Chevy takes. You know? So I was like, all right, well, you know what? I called Billy up, and I was like, let's get him down here with that bobcat, because he just got that bobcat. It's a pretty nice bobcat. It's a new bobcat. I mean, it's new to him, you know. It's just not a new bobcat, but at least it's new to him. So, but, you know, of course, Billy wants to get down there real quick because he just got that bobcat.
He was itching to use that thing since he just got it.
Oh, he was itching to use that thing, you know. And I'll tell you what, when he got down there, that smile on his face was ear to ear. And he was ready to go. But I'll tell you what, he hopped in that bobcat, it was horrible.
I've never seen anyone operate one of those things. Worse than Billy, it took hours.
It did take hours. I mean, it took forever. It was only a 4-foot pile of dirt, too. And I'll tell you what, it took him good, 3 hours to build that thing. And then I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, well, you know what? We got to get all the dirt back off of there since it absorbed the oil. And I'm like, so I tell Billy, I'm like, hey, go ahead and get that there dirt and put it back in that dump truck, and then we'll have to see how far the oil seeped into the ground. And I'm like, man, 5 quarts of oil, I'd probably sleep, it probably went down there pretty far. But you know what? When I looked at it, man, he only had to cut about 1.5 inches off that dirt. And it was gone, dried up. I was like, man, thank you, because it already took a couple hours for him to build the pile. Took a couple more hours for him to get rid of the pile. By the time it was all said and done, we were out of there. We'd been there forever.
Tell you what, I never thought we was going to finish that job.
Yeah, I heard they opened the road back up 2 days later.
They did open the road back up down there 2 days later. But
They did.
That they did. I'll tell you what. I mean, after the job was done, I thought it was going to be, shortly after that. I mean, we took Donnie home, let him work back at his garage again, because, he got to work on that truck.
Gosh, he pretty much lives in there. I'm surprised he doesn't have his bed up in there.
I'm telling you, you know what? I think he's got a TV. And I'm pretty sure it gets at least 4 channels. And I'll tell you what, that's one more channel than I get at my house, so we're good.
Well, he was in there 2 days later when I saw him.
Man, I'll tell you what, he never leaves that garage. But I'll tell you what, they did open that road up 2 days later. Because I went down there the next day, it was still closed. I think they were letting the oil air dry a little bit. I don't know if oil air dries. Whatever we left behind, though, I'm pretty sure that's what they were doing. They were letting it air dry.
Yeah, I know. Danny's garbage bag suit's still air drying.
He hung that thing outside his garage to air dry. Why are you going to air dry?
Darn straight he did.
I'm telling you what, why are you going to air dry garbage bags?
Oh, Donnie.
Oh, I'm telling you what, man. Donnie, he just kills me. Air drying garbage bags, working on that truck that ain't never going to run. But hey, you know what? That's our good friend Donnie. So, it's all good. Everything's fine with it. Because I'll tell you what, man. We like telling our stories about Donnie. And this is just the first of many to come. And next week, we're going to talk about our story about Donnie and the fire truck. So, stay tuned for us next week. Be looking for us on YouTube. It might take a little bit for me to get this up there because, computers and me, they're not a great match. But, we'll get this posted on there. And then next week, look for our story about Donnie and the fire truck. So, I'm Jim.
And this is Hank.
And I'm Joe.
And we're from Ottumwa YouTube Radio. So stay tuned for next week.